Hello, everyone. Welcome into yet another Victory Monday. We're getting so spoiled here on Xfinity Monday Live. And with your favorite, my favorite, everybody's favorite, Marvin Mims Jr. in the house, kind enough to join us after an insane game. Are you exhausted? Because I know everybody was exhausted from watching that.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. Body's hurting. I'm emotionally exhausted. It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot, especially for it to be a night game on the East Coast, too. Yeah. Everything just feels so much later over there. But it was fun. When
the Commanders went for two, were you like, oh, thank God the game's going to end either way?
Part of me was. Because I took such a beat in that game, and part of me was like, they're going for two, and our defense is amazing.
Yeah.
They always come to play in the best moments, and Nick Bodino making that play was huge for us. So I was happy they were going for two.
Both sides came to play. All three facets came to play. A lot of Broncos fans are like, my heart can't take this. Like the way you guys are winning. Is it exhausting for you the way you guys are winning? I mean, it's fun, but it's also like insane.
Yeah, I mean it's real exhausting, and it's like. Because at the end of the game, we just want to make that big play.
Yeah.
And we just have so many guys on our team that can make that big play. Mm-hmm. There's been games against like the Giants where I do it, or where Troy does it, or Court does it. And then last night, Evan Ingram made a huge play for us in overtime. And it's just different stuff like that. But like when you're with these group of guys, like someone will make the play,
Mm-hmm. It was interesting. Yesterday, Alex was asked in the locker room, like, can you continue to live like this in regards to like these crazy comeback wins? And he was kind of like, well, yeah, exactly what you said. We all believe that we can. Is this something that I think fans are like, can you keep winning like this? But why not?
Yeah. I think for me, it's like, if we're winning, we're winning.
Yeah.
And like for me, I have a different point of view.
Yeah.
With my concussion, I missed 2 games, so I was sitting at home watching on the TV.
Yeah.
And so like I'm sitting there going through the exact same thing the fans are going through, like all of this mistakes and stuff. I'm like, oh, there's no way that just happened. But we have the group of guys that just pulling through at the end, and it's been huge for us.
But at the end of the day, like when it comes to the postseason, most games are one-score games. Most games are close games. What kind of confidence do you guys have that each week you're finding different ways to pull out close wins?
Yeah, I think you kind of said it perfectly. They're all been different ways, like completely different ways. And last night being our first overtime game, but a game where the offense has to put points on the board, and we end up doing it. And then a clutch drive at the end, and huge plays by Bo and Evan, and just kind of just seeing it through.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you want to go out there. And it's weird because football is a game of 3 phases. It's not like basketball where you play offense, defense. Like you have this one job and you have to do it the most. And for me, I have 2 jobs kind of, with the returner and playing on offense. But you just got to do the most you can being there. Mm-hmm. And a huge importance to yardage also. You
got like a lot of jobs. You're the man of many jobs, Marv. But Bo's now got 6 game-winning drives. I think you tied John Elway. Talk to me about what Bo's like in the huddle in those moments.
Yeah, I think it's honestly pretty cool. What I've noticed from Bo hasn't been different from the OTAs when he first got here. I mean, when he's in the huddle, he kind of commands it, and he's really unfazed.
Yeah.
And now that we've been together for, about a year and 3 quarters, we kind of know what to expect of each other, especially on different plays that we've kind of carried over from last season. So, I mean, Bo's taking the offense by command, and you can definitely see it with his play and how comfortable he is this year, and just how we're pulling out, situations at the end of the game unlike last season.
Yeah. Something that really impresses me about this team is you're a relatively young team. You've got some vets in there, but this is a team that, like, you guys walk and talk like you've been there, like you've been to the chip, but you haven't. So where does that come from?
Yeah, I think, you look at our preparation.
Yeah.
I mean, we're one of the only teams going 6 days in a row in training camp, and then playing a preseason game to get an off day 2 days after a preseason game, and it's just kind of comes from our mentality and our physicality and just how we go out there and just want to dominate our opponents.
Yeah.
And you look at us, like, historically, I mean, the Broncos haven't had a playoff run in a while, but we go to the playoffs last year and we kind of get a taste of it. And I think the coolest thing for us was, 2 weeks after, I mean, guys like Quinn Myers, Alex Singleton, like captains, leaders, they're back in the weight room preparing for next season. Yeah. So it's been cool, just to kind of see everybody, and especially we have like Dre and Talanoa Hufanga on the team now, and those guys have been exceptional in their roles, and just seeing how everything's coming together.
Yeah, that's incredible. So I love that you said that. Like, do you guys still kind of think about last year in Buffalo?
It's crossed my mind a couple of times for sure, especially as we're starting to get to that playoff season, and we're sitting at 10-2, and we could possibly have a first-round bye, possibly not, but at the end of the day, I'm ready to attack whatever comes.
Yeah.
If we get a playoff game in Denver, that would be amazing.
Oh, we're ready for it. Playoffs in the Mile High. I got goosebumps just thinking about it. We can't wait for it. We're so happy you're here tonight, Marv, on Xfinity Monday Live. Welcome back into Xfinity Monday Live here at the Viewhouse Centennial. Another Victory Monday, thanks in large part to the guy sitting right next to me. Marvin Mims in the house, kind enough to sit down with us after yet another win. And Marv, you're so fun to watch on special teams. You make special teams really fun. We were talking on the break about like punt return, kick return, but punt return it's just so exciting to watch. Was there ever a point in your life where there's like fear, right? You're looking up, these guys are just coming at you.
Yeah, so it's hilarious. So like, I used to hate punt return growing up, and I did it Pee-wee, and this is like 4th grade, Texas, like North Texas, and we were in the playoffs. And boom, I get a punt, slips right through my hands. Other team gets it, they win the game. So like after that, I was distraught from ever doing it the rest of my life. And then I started doing it my senior year in high school. And then funny thing is, I get to Oklahoma. DeMarco Murray is the returners coach, running backs, and he does returners too. And he's telling me, and this is when COVID's going on, and I'm out for COVID for 2 weeks. Come back first week of the season. He's like, "Hey, you're starting at punt return." And so first one, I had 3 big returns for like 80 yards. And since then, I've done punt return from college to now.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. What is the art to being a good punt returner?
Yeah, I think it's just, honestly, it's just kind of making something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of punt returns where it's just clean.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's not going to be clean. Right? 3 guys getting beat, all this stuff. But I'd say that on my part, just making it look clean. And also on the other guy's parts, you know, if you got to get like a finger on them, you know, it helps. You know what I mean? And just guys training to get more blocks, all that stuff. And we have guys that have been doing it. You know, Drew Sanders has been doing it for a while. JL Skinner's been doing it really good. And I think the jammers on the ends, too, that's a big thing. You know, as long as we can get those 2 guys handled, we have a chance to, you know, to start to return. And, you know, the way things have been going here for the past 3 years, you know, we start a return, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Is there any way to prepare for the hits you take, you know, both kick and punt? Because you get rocked out there sometime, right? And there's not contact during the week.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, sometimes you just got to take it how it comes. And, you know, I kind of pride myself on being tough. And, you know, you take some hits, and some of them like, oh, like, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I do not want to get back up and go out there next play. But, you know, you just got to keep going. I mean, that's the name of the game. And, you know, I think when I started wearing, like, more protective stuff, so when I started playing running back next year, because I was like, I'm not going to let any of these linebackers catch me.
Yeah. I love it. It's really fun to watch. What's, like, your favorite thing? A punt return, 50 yards, taking the top off the defense, or one of those little quick outs and making a big play out of that?
Yeah, I think for me it's punt return.
Yeah.
You know, it's just making a big play out of something different, you know, out of the third phase. You know, I think special teams has been a huge thing for us for the past 3 years. And I think if I can make a big play out of that, you know, it'd be very, very beneficial for our team. It gives Bo Nix energy boost. It gives the offensive line energy boost. It gives everyone, you know, energy boost, especially when we're at home. You know, the crowd just gets to roaring for it. So I think that's definitely one of my unique plays. I love hearing it.
We love hearing it. And speaking of, let's shameless plug. You got to go vote for Marv for the Pro Bowl. I think you're 9th in voting right now, which is rude. I don't know why you're not 1, but you will be 1. Don't worry, it like just came out. We're definitely you're an All-Pro, so you got to go to the Pro Bowl too.
Yeah, for sure.
So everybody, go vote for Marv on the Pro Bowl. We got a lot more coming up with Marv. Was that embarrassing?
No.
Okay, good. Vote for Marv. We're going to take a break, though, and get caught up on today's news and weather. All right, Karen, thank you so much. It's time now for the People Want to Know. People Want to Know brought to you by Common Spirit, official health care partner of the Denver Broncos and champions for the communities we serve. And I'm actually going to bring this one back because you guys played in the nation's capital, so we were having a debate in the sports office about which Broncos player, if you were running for president, you would want as your running mate. And I will tell you that you got several votes in our sports office.
Really?
Yes, I picked you, so did Dave, and a couple others. If you were running for president, which teammate would you have as your running mate?
Oh, as a running mate, that's a great question. Part of me would want to say like Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
Like kind of on like the serious but silly side.
Yeah.
But if I was going like straight serious, definitely Bo Nix.
Okay.
Like just all business.
All business.
You know? Yeah, for sure.
That'd be pretty good. I feel like that'd be good. Malcolm Roach also got a couple votes because, you know, he just kind of like
he would be definitely
smack
be
talk
like a TV
everybody.
guy.
Yeah, right. but you did win in our office, so
There you go.
we're going to take in Marv. That was the People Want to Know, brought to you by Common Spirit. We got to take a break. We got more coming up on the other side. Stick around. Spending Monday Live's coming right back. All right, Marv, you guys are rolling. You're 10-2. Do you ever, like, I know you're week to week, one game at a time, but it's hard to get 10 wins. Do you allow yourself to take a step back and kind of see where you guys are? You only got 2 losses. You got 10 wins. It's kind of a big accomplishment.
I think like the last time I like really like sat back and like looked at it all was after the KC game, and, you know, going in the bye week. But, you know, you say that 10 wins, and I honestly haven't even thought about it. Like, I think like for us, we just get so caught up in the week to week, and you know, we get in the routine and we kind of do the same practice schedule every week. So we just get so caught up into that and our next opponent that, you know, at the end of the day, we're just playing ball.
Yeah.
And I think that's the right way to go about it.
Yeah. Well, lucky for you guys, you have the media, and we just get to annoy you and keep reminding you when you're trying not to focus on it. You got Vegas coming up, going to the. It's not the same as the Black Hole in Oakland, and the fans I feel like we're a little bit crazier. But have you had any like crazy experience with Raiders fans?
No, not yet.
No,
not yet. Not that I can think of.
What about like the guy in the front row? There's like a couple of them. The guy dresses up like the gorilla. Do you ever see like any of the fans?
You'll get like a couple of the hecklers like in the little bar
like
thing
that
behind.
guy. You ever see that guy?
I've never seen that guy.
He's always around. They heckle you? No.
A little bit.
Yeah.
They'll like say stuff every now and then. And then you got like I guess they have like the little bar area behind the bench.
Yeah.
Which is like a new type of thing. But, you get some people down there. But most of it's like leisure.
Yeah.
It's so weird because you'll get like diehard fans and then guys are just there and all that stuff. So it's a weird mix.
It's kind of different. Like in Oakland, they used to like throw batteries at the players. Yeah. It was nuts out there.
Yeah.
What's the craziest opposing fan base?
Oh, craziest opposing fan. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I can just think about college.
Yeah.
Okay. And like you get TCU where you have like all the, like the rich Texas kids behind you just like talking crap. And you got like Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Who like they throw tortillas at you.
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's insane. Because like I went there twice and like both times you just see his tortillas start flying from the student section. But I think the craziest fan base for sure. You talk about like a college atmosphere. I mean, KC is definitely like a college atmosphere when you go to play there. And I think like the home of the Chiefs thing when we do the national anthem is insane.
Yeah.
And it caught me by surprise my first time. And like now I always listen for it whenever we do it. But I think Denver's up there too, like a college atmosphere.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for logging on to CBSColorado.com. Time now for a few extra minutes with Marvin Mims Jr. And we were just talking about on the show, it ended about kind of the craziest fan bases. You were talking about the Chiefs, but the Broncos showing up too.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's like one of the more college fan bases out there. You can definitely feel the atmosphere. I mean, especially for younger guys coming from college going to the NFL. There's some fan bases that, I mean, you look at the Broncos. We go to Washington last night, and it's like we're the home team.
Yeah.
We go to LA and we're the home team. So it's like different stuff like that kind of plays with you in your mind. Like if we're Oklahoma, even if we go down the street to North Texas, like they're still going to be loud and rowdy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just little stuff like that. It's a little weird.
Yeah. Were you surprised how well Broncos fans travel?
Yeah, for sure. I think like, especially for me growing up, like grew up in Dallas, so it was all like Cowboys, Cowboys, Cowboys.
Yeah.
You thought this was like America's team, the greatest team ever, greatest fan base, blah, blah, blah. And then like I come here and it's like, home and away, like we're basically the home team almost every single game. And it's honestly incredible. And I think it's been definitely like one of the more surprising, cooler things for me, like moving to Colorado and like learning more about the city. Yeah,
it's cool, like especially a couple places, including the one you're going to this week, Vegas. A lot of Broncos fans. Vegas, LA, Chargers. I always say that's like an additional home game.
Yeah.
But like, what does that do for you when you're on the road?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're back there, they're screaming. I mean, just like I talked about earlier, kind of big plays. You get that little boost from the fans, and they're right there. Yeah. So like even last night, we get a big play, it's loud, it's roaring, and you think it's one of our home games. It's just different territory. So it's honestly pretty cool. It's one of the sickest things I've been a part of. It
was really funny actually. One of the Washington staffers was like, I can't tell what's happening because there's so many Broncos fans. She was getting really irritated yesterday during the game. You're going to Vegas. You guys played them. This will be the second time you played them. Really close game last time though, 10-7. What do you take from that game that you can put into this next one?
Yeah, I mean, you look at divisional games, especially in this division. The past 3 years since I've been here, they've all been close. It's really hard to blow out a divisional opponent. And I missed last game, so I wasn't able to be out there. I was watching it from home. But, the Raiders really want to beat the Broncos. Yeah. And, the other way, the Broncos really want to beat the Raiders. So it's going to be a competitive game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. They have Max Crosby who can try and dismantle you every single way, and he kind of plays his own free way of football, but at the same time, he's everywhere. Yeah. And he's a hell of a player. And, just him talking, playing, all that stuff kind of gets in your way. And you just got to go in there and just do what we do, trust each other as we always do, and then hopefully pull out with the win in the end.
One thing that you guys never do is overlook opponents. You've been great about that all year. But how do you not, like the Raiders, they're 2-10. How do you make sure that you don't look at them as these guys suck?
Yeah, I think for me it's easy. Me being a young guy, and part of me was like 3-4 years ago still watching these guys play on TV. So it's like, for me, it's like all these guys are pros. They have all pros. They have pro bowlers. They have guys that can make special plays. And then you even got guys that they draft who were, top stars at their college football team last year who can make those plays in the NFL if given the opportunity, given the chance. And you just got to be ready for every moment. I mean, there's guys out there trying their tails off, and sometimes we'll play teams that aren't as good. And, sometimes, when a coach is going to get fired or something like that, and it's like, these guys are playing for their next team, next contract, next opportunity. They're trying to put good film on tape. So it's like, you could say like a team's not good, but those guys might play their tails off because of the situation they're put in, you know, and it's just one of those things where it's like you got to go out there and give it your best every time because at the end of the day, you know, we're one of the top teams down in the AFC, and, you know, anything we do, you know, if we lose a game, drop a game, we'll be upset.
You guys are, the Broncos are, we always say like the Broncos are so back. What you guys are now is what fans here for so long have always thought of the Broncos and known, and you've been part of this turnaround. What do you think have been the biggest contributors to turning this around and getting the Broncos now top of the AFC?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and especially clicked this year, is just the belief in each other. And that's all three phases. You know, we go offense, defense, and then especially special teams. And I think it's something I don't take for granted at all. And I know a lot of guys looking at me in the locker room is like, you know, you're like one of the guys on special teams. Like you make all these big plays and stuff. And I take that, you know, with the utmost honor, you know, and it's something that we've done this year that's been huge for us. And just kind of believing in each other, trusting each other, all of it clicking, working hard, knowing how each other's worked, and just kind of playing for each other.
Yeah.
You know, we don't take each other's work lightly. And you see Quinn Miners in there squatting 500 pounds. You don't take that lightly. You know, you want to go out there and play hard for that guy because, you know, he's putting it all on the line.
You guys definitely all play hard for each other. What's it like walking in the facility? 5 wins in a row, 6 wins in a row, 7, 8, 9 wins in a row. I mean, what's it like every week now that you guys are just like on this roll?
Yeah, I think it's been cool. You know, in our locker room, there's such a mix. You know, you got Bo Nix, who's serious. You got Cortland Sutton, who can be a little mixed. You got Malcolm Roach, who's like always playful but serious, and then on game day he's like really serious. And then you have Jonathan Cooper, who's like, if you look at him, you think he'll kill you on game day. So it's like we have all these mix of guys, but we all mesh and gel so well.
Yeah.
You know, especially in the locker room, and just going through week to week and practice and going as hard as we can. You know, while keeping it safe within the lines and all that stuff, and just, you know, piecing it together. I mean, it's been great. You know, being able to go to the facility and just enjoy yourselves and have fun while we're out there winning. You know, and at the same time taking it seriously.
Yeah. Well, it's been just amazing. Marv, you're the best. On and off the field, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Marvin Mims, make sure you vote for him for the Pro Bowl, guys. Got to get that voted up. Marvin Mims to the Pro Bowl for a third year in a row. That'll do it. Thanks for joining us. We will see you guys next time.